The difference between people who make it and those who don't, looking inside and taking responsibility for you and your feelings. On that note, this episode is for every woman who's ever stopped herself from reaching out because she thought she should already have it together. It's for every goddess who thought her pain would make her less lovable. And it's a gentle reminder that you're not meant to push the stone alone. Let me ask you, have you ever caught yourself pulling away again, even when you know better? You stop reaching out, you silence your truth. You say, I'm fine, when you're not. And you call it strength. Today, we're naming something so many of us carry in silence. That moment when the stone starts rolling again. And we wonder if we're back at the very beginning. Picture this. I'm at my altar, incense is burning, coffee is half drunk, candles flickering next to my laptop, part mystic, part rebel, fully done with business as usual. This is Awaken Your Biz Goddess, a podcast for wild-hearted women who never fit the mold and aren't about to start now. I'm Awaken, intuitive biz coach, sacred space holder, and your guide on the pathless path. Come as you are, leave lit up. Let us begin. Welcome in, Goddess. Thanks for being here. I have a story for you today. Yeah, it's my story. I know you're shocked to hear, right? Well, a little while ago, I found myself shrinking again. Not in an obvious way, no dramatic breakdown, just a quiet pullback. I fell into an old pattern again, the kind I thought I had pretty much outgrown. I stopped sharing. I told myself I didn't want to burden anyone. I literally convinced myself that all I did was complain. And I slowly started climbing into that cave of my own silence. I stopped voicing my truth. I even ghosted my closest women, my BBFs and my BFFs. I told myself, I'm fine. I don't need to do that. I don't want to be a burden on anybody. And worst of all, I believed it. What hit me wasn't that I was disconnected. It was that I knew I was doing it and I did it anyway. Because it felt safer, cleaner, less complicated. But in that silence, the stone started rolling. There's something seductive about isolation. It whispers at you. You're strong for handling it on your own. You're being considerate by not bringing others into it. No one wants to hear your stuff anyway. I mean, haven't you been in it long enough? It all sounds so freaking reasonable. There is proof in the strength, proof you can handle anything. The myth of handling it all on your own, the belief that we're not meant to need anyone. We are supposed to be completely autonomous. Our little selves, all in one package. Another myth is that by hiding the way we feel, we're being considerate, which, to be honest, makes no sense at all. Seriously, does that make any sense? We're being considerate? Another way is that we're urged to hold it in, that you're not strong enough to handle it on your own, and after all, no one really wants to hear it anyways. Boring. But the problem is, of course, there's a cognitive dissonance in that. Plus, I'm pretty sure I've gone through this before, and well, I mean, who wants to hear it again? I don't even want to hear it again. But what all this is really saying is, don't be seen. You're too much. And for women like us, like you, that message, it runs deep. So we hide, we mask, we armor up. And the cost isn't just loneliness, that's obvious. It's the disconnection from ourselves, from source, from our sacred circle. Here's the thing that I forgot. Again. Healing never happens alone. Even if you journal, Even if you meditate or you're doing the work, which you guys know, I hate that term, that whole work. It implies something you don't want to do, as well as something that's hard and arduous, but that's a whole other story. I will talk about that at some other time. At some point, though, we all need someone to mirror us back to ourselves, to say even just the basics of, I see you and you're not too much. I hear you and you're still lovable. Isolation, it feels safe, but connection, that's what actually creates healing. We weren't meant to push that stone alone. There's a story in Greek mythology, Sisyphus. He was punished by the gods for multiple reasons, by the way, and in his punishment, he was made to push a giant boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll back down every time he reached the top, and then to do it all over again and again and again, forever, sadly. Poor guy. He did do some bad stuff, though. Either way, that's what these old patterns can feel like, isn't it? Like, no matter how much work you do, I just said it again, didn't I? Work you do, no matter how many breakthroughs or journals or meditations, you're back at the bottom again. But here's what I actually believe. This isn't a punishment. It's an invitation. Every time the stone rolls back, it's not to shame us. It's to show us where the pattern still lives, where the nervous system, your whole body, holds that story, where the sacred repatterning still wants to unfold. That you're not broken, but instead you are becoming. When I sat with this recently, I actually heard a little whisper. You're not back at the beginning. You're standing at a deeper doorway, which I love that. Either way, I have a therapist friend who told me once that we're not continually coming back to the same space over and over again, despite it feeling that way. We are all on a journey up the mountain of ourselves. And so as we go up the mountain, we climb up switchbacks back and forth along the way. And at some switchbacks, you look down and you see something you've seen before, but it's from a new vantage point. It may be the same story, but it's seen with new eyes, a wiser heart, and a body that's starting to trust herself. This is your mirror moment. You're not too much. You're just in the middle of remembering. And even when the stone rolls again, this time, you know you don't have to push it alone. At the end of the day, we need the others in our lives. Of course, I finally caved and shared, right? I cried and was told in no uncertain terms that my hiding had been completely unnecessary. Duh. I figured that out, didn't I? But we need to trust, not just ourselves, but the people in our lives we have chosen to have with us along this life adventure. Trust in our love for ourselves and the love they hold for us as well. For today's spellette, we have, even when I forget myself, I'm still worthy of love. I call myself back with compassion. Use this spellette by lighting some incense, a candle, and closing your eyes to see yourself wrapped in your own love. You can always use the word kindness instead of love if that feels better. And you can use this as a mantra or as an affirmation as well. If this landed in your heart, subscribe to Awaken Your Biz Goddess, because your business isn't just a strategy. It is a sacred relationship with yourself. Well, and your business, but your business is you. Anyways, download the Goddess Growth Map for $9. It's a compass back to your truth and a reminder that healing is a spiral or that mountain trail and not a straight line. Join Whispers from the Wild Mystery for weekly, kind of sometimes maybe, Rituals, soul deep prompts, and sacred reflections I only share with my inner circle. Come back to the mystery. Let yourself be seen. And remember, you were never meant to do this alone.